Okay, what we got here is a 2017 6.7 liter Cummins, and it's actually my stepfather's, and he let me use it for a little bit when I needed a truck to tow. So I told him, I was like, well, since you let me use it, I'm gonna go ahead and take this truck from Basic. We're gonna make it badass. And so we're gonna do a little bit of off-road stuff inside of there, and then I believe he wanted to put the Banks Ram Air grid heater delete. He just wants to make the truck last. He didn't want anything crazy. He honestly wanted it quiet, but a bunch of his friends and whatnot said that he wouldn't mind an actual straight pipe after the DPF delete. But I was like, well, we'll just get we just got the muffler and the DPF delete, and I was like, well, if he wanted a muffler later on, if it bothers him, he can go ahead and buy just the muffler kit and throw a muffler in there for like MBRP or something like that. I'm sure that they have plenty of kits out there that are DPF and back, so it'll just bolt right onto the delete kit that we install. But anyway, this is a completely stock 6.7, and it just made it 104,000 miles, and I was driving it while it happened, but it made it 104,000 miles, so 4,000 past the 100,000 mile mark, and the DPF clogged. So I called him and I said, you want to take it to go get it cleaned, or pay the same price and we'll just get rid of all the cancer on this vehicle? So that is what we opted to do. And we went through a company called the Diesel Dudes. I believe they're out of Canada. They don't have I think in Canada the EPA isn't quite up to the same date or so as the US is. So we ordered it out of Canada, and I kind of like the kit. It's nice. But anyway, I'm not going to show any of the installation on this vehicle because there are plenty of videos out there, and then every kit is different. But either way, we're gonna make this truck. We're gonna make it a little bit salty, but we'll get started on it, and then I'll do a before and after video. So I'll give you after shot. I've got stock exhaust sound, and then we'll get some afters. But anyway, hang in there. Okay, from the Diesel Dudes, we bought the complete kit, and we tuned it with the EFI Live V3. There was the EFI Live or Easy Link, and I went ahead with the EFI Live because, you know, he probably doesn't care to be tuning with his cell phone. But we got the 4-position switch, stock, tow, street, performance, and we went ahead and put we tuned everything first, and then I went ahead and put the DPF delete on and unplugged all the EGR stuff. But now that the kit is completely installed, this thing right here, I mean, look at that. That just looks awesome, hanging out right there up front. It gets rid of the grid heater, and then replaces it with this little heating element right here, and that is the power wire that used to go to the grid heater, but now it's up here on top, and it's just a heating element pointing into the intake. We haven't got rid of the throttle valve yet. That was like a separate thing you had to buy, and I just wasn't paying attention. I would have got it, but we haven't got rid of it, so it's just unplugged. And over here the kit is. The only thing I don't like is this cluster kind of in here. Get you up in here closer. I zip tied this to the heater hose. Who knows if that's good or not, but I do like the little clamp right here. It kind of holds this fitting that you put in. But the one thing I do not like is I can't figure out where to put this plug. This is like the exhaust back pressure or plug, and I don't know. I just can't. On the older models, it runs up here towards the front and the plug's in back there, and they actually, you could reroute it, or you could find a comfortable place to put this, but this wouldn't bolt up to the bracket. I tried moving it back, forward, everywhere. And then whenever you put your CCV routing, the CCV hose back in, it just doesn't jive with this coolant hose that we installed. But either way, this bracket is solid. Mounts to the manifold up there. But it's you can see there's an engine actually here. You can tell what parts are, and there's not just this mess going on over here. But I kept the original gaskets for the block off plates. Just took them off of the bottom of the EGR, or actually they hung on to the manifold, so I just made sure they were there and then slapped the brackets on it. Made sure to tighten the EGT probe. See right there? There's an EGT probe fitting right there. You can watch your EGTs by putting a sensor in. Well, we don't have that yet, so make sure you tighten that plug, because ours was loose. You don't want that. But either way, it's all done. And I'll tell you what, this thing, when I said salty, she's pissed. It'll get up and scoot now. You can get rid of your tires if you want with it now. Starts right up. You got your 5 position. You got stock here. You can hear a little bit of a tonal change. It sounds like early boost, or like a little bit more turbo whistle. You swap it over to toe tune. So I'll be quiet, and then you can hear that change difference between stock and toe tune. And that is just on the toe tune. When you go to street, it goes back to the throaty. And the performance, there's no difference change. I can't. But I do know on that toe tune right there, when you step on it, it's going. The other one has a little bit of, it has that gradual build to just the pure power that you get out of it. But the toe tune, as soon as you touch the pedal, it's wanting to go, and then you can keep it back at stock. But I honestly think, I was watching the MPGs, and I believe we started at 17.1. Well, I've only drove it a little bit, and we're already up to 17.5. All right, get you closer in there. So we're already up to 17.5, and I've only drove it a few miles. Like it's still fresh to all this stuff, so we'll see where that gets to. But I'll probably do an update video later on and tell you what kind of MPG we got out of it. But if you're thinking about the Banks Monster Ram intake, I'd probably go for it. It wasn't too hard. You take all the injector lines off, and then you just replace the one right here that clears the banks. This one's shaped a little bit different, but it's not too awfully bad. We did. Comes with a new that intake plate that runs all the way back, and then the actual fuel rail is bolted to the top of it. But a little bit of work, not bad. You can do it. But anyway, I think you'll like this truck a whole lot better now. Also, I wanted to say, I believe I said 4,000 miles is what it made past when the DPF filter got clogged, but it's not. It made it to, let me put the key in. It made it to 1,400 miles. It was like, you know, 101, 480, I don't know, something like that. Around 1,400 miles anyway. Past 100,000 miles before the DPF got clogged on it. So, and we need to fix that as well. Good old Dodge. The ABS thing. You don't have cruise control in this truck right now, and that's about the most annoying thing ever. But yeah, we're at 1,500 miles right now, so we haven't really drove this much after putting this all on. But anyway, I messed up earlier, and I think I said 4,000 miles, but no, it was 1,400, almost 1,500 miles that it made. And it's almost like they set that up, like they know after 100,000 miles that you're gonna have to take this in for service. Well, how about we just get rid of it? Okay, I want to talk about the difference between the Banks grid heater and this one. So you replace this whole intake plate right here. See, here's your stock horn right there, bolts onto there. Actually, no, sorry, bolts on here this way. Oh, that's what you get. Super dirty. And then this grid heater right there, super dirty as well. And I mean, we've probably dropped this and cleaned it off a little bit better than what it was, but it was full of soot. But the bolts you got to watch out for. Right here, you got your power wire bolts to the grid heater, and this bolt right here, I believe it's this one right here that people are getting problems from it rusting out and falling down into the intake, and then costing you a lot of money. So that's what the Banks kit does. It gets rid of that. And then all this is open on the Banks. There's none of this congestion going on right here. A little bit of Mucinex is what we put on this. But either way, that's what you get rid of. Okay, something that I wanted to add into the video. Sorry, that's my dog. He wants attention. But anyway, something I wanted to add into the video was so y'all can get an aspect of it with the Banks Ram Air added on with the tuning and the muffler and everything delete. But I think the extra air that you get from that intake, you're kind of cleaning off that typical Dodge broke hole that you get from straight piping and tuning one of them trucks. But because I have a few videos of it, and I'm kind of getting on it pretty good, and it just kind of makes that hazy smoke out there on the performance tune. On the tow tune, I can't even really see it. You have to put it on the performance tune to get that black smoke rolling out of there. So I think it makes for a pretty clean burn, putting the Banks intake onto the actual delete and everything else. Because before we had the Banks on there, we had just the DPF delete, and you could really see the smoke because we were test driving it. You could really see the smoke back there. It was rolling coal. But such a goofy thing to say. It sounds weird now. It used to be cool, but now it sounds weird. But it was really rolling the black smoke out, and with the intake, I believe, I don't know completely like 100%, but I believe that it's kind of cleaned that out a little bit, and you're getting a better, cleaner burn, and getting the extra, the extra power that you get out of that burnt diesel. So anyway, I'll roll a few videos of us doing, the first video is the tow tune, and then the second video will be all the way on the performance tune, just so you can see the major jump and the difference between the two. And then after that, I'll go ahead and give y'all a stock exhaust clip, and then we'll go ahead and show it after everything's said and done. And on the performance tune, a blip of what it sounds like,